Emerge Stories is a place where, as the name implies, you are going to hear stories. Stories from people all over the Philippines who have come from many different types of backgrounds, and especially people who have gone through struggles, people who have gone through the challenging parts of life. And I hope that these stories will relate for you in some way, that some of these stories will really land for you because these people have gone through probably just about the same thing you might be going through right now. Welcome back to Emerge Stories. Today we have a special guest named Arnold Balais. You may have already heard of him. He is a Paralympic athlete, vocational coordinator, orthotic and prosthetic technician, and a team captain of the Philippine Accessible Disability Service Dragon Boat team, otherwise known as PADS. They call him Captain A. He overcame the amputation of his right leg at 14 years old, caused by infection after a basketball injury. But he went on to excel in various sports, including weightlifting, swimming, mountain climbing, and boat racing. Arnold was honored with several awards and recognitions for his achievements, including being the first amputee to scale Mount Apo. He's also an inspirational and motivational speaker, and he works at the Cebu Doctors University as a laboratory instructor for physical and occupational therapy students. He's also been a television commercial actor, a nationally recognized product ambassador. Arnold is an amazing human who has gone through incredibly difficult things and just made himself better and better through time. And he really loves helping other people as well. I hope you're super inspired by Arnold's story. So happy to have him here on the show. And if you think somebody else would benefit from hearing this story, please take a moment to share this channel with them. We also invite you to join our Facebook group where we have a community. The whole goal of Emerge PH is to help people just like you to focus more energy on growing yourself. And for those of you out there who really are interested in figuring out what your potential might be and pursuing it, you need to be connected with other people that are doing the same thing. And that's what we're trying to do, is create a community, but also create inspiring stories, or not create them, but share them. So I hope that this story is inspiring for you. Thank you for being here. And let's jump into the conversation with Arnold. Arnold, welcome to Emerge Stories. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Eli, for having me. It's a big opportunity for me to be one of your guests in your show. Emerge Philippines is very interesting show. I've been watching it and the previous episodes, and I'm inspired.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. And I'm super excited for people to hear your story. I think it's very inspiring. Yeah. So let's start out by telling people a little bit about who are you now and what are you proud of in your life?
I'm Arnold Balais, also known as Captain A, since I'm the team captain of PADS Dragon Boat team, the very unique team from the Philippines. We are the only para-dragon team in the country, meaning most of the paddlers are persons with disability. I'm right above the knee amputee, a laboratory instructor, prosthetic and orthotic technician at the Cebu Doctors University in Mandaue City. I'm married. I have 3 children. And also, I'm a inspirational speaker.
Amazing. Really cool stuff. And I know there's some other things in your story that we're going to get to that are also pretty impressive achievements that I know you're going to tell us about. But so you said you were an above the knee amputee.
Yes.
And how old were you when that happened?
I was 14 years old when I met an accident while playing basketball, because I really fell in love with basketball when I was maybe 9 or 10 years old. Since I grew up in the province, when I first encountered basketball, I really fell in love with it. We grew up in the province. Our playground is the mountain and also the river. So there also I developed how to run in the mountain and also swimming. But basketball was really my favorite sports during that time. Not only I excelled in basketball, but also in studies. I graduated salutatorian in elementary.
Nice.
And unfortunately, basketball also is the reason why I lost my leg. I fell hard while contesting for a rebound. And I was very scared. I did not tell my parents about it. And what I did was I went to a quack doctor, the manghihilot, and it got worse than the injury. Finally, when I had an x-ray, they found out I had a fracture on my right femur. I was admitted and they scheduled an operation. Unfortunately, got infected. And for 1 whole year, they're trying to save my leg. I was also brought to Manila, UST hospital, to try to save my leg. But yeah, it was really bad. And They gave me an option of amputation or continuous medication or continuous operation, but without guarantee to be healed. So I chose amputation because my life was in the bed
Wow.
for almost a year. I was just in the bed. I cannot walk,
So,
and
so you're
it was very
14.
hard.
So you're 14, very active before this, in love with basketball,
Mhm.
swimming,
Yes.
active lifestyle, and then a year in bed,
Mhm.
and then you find out, then you basically have this completely life-changing news that you're, now you're not going to have one of your legs. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you remember feeling at that time?
Yes, part of me was really wanted to be an amputated because I've been suffering for a long time and it's very difficult for me and my family. Not only physically, but also financially, since we're not that well off. Remember, I just came from the province. Uh, the infection was really painful because it's a bone infection. So that alone, I cannot sleep well. I cannot eat well because of the infection. That's why I think part of it is the reason why I chose amputation. And I thought I was ready, though the hospital provided me with counseling program. I think for 3 months they've been visiting me and talking about what will happen. The counseling was very helpful. In a way, it lessened the feeling of your what you call this self pity
Yeah.
because you know that you're gonna lose your leg
And the counseling was okay.
before the amputation. I was scheduled for amputation, but they hold it. They want me to undergo the counseling. And it was very helpful. And then when I finally had to be amputated, I thought I was ready because of the counseling. But when you see yourself without the leg already, that was something different. And I cried, but I did not show my nanay or my mom
Mm.
about it. But deep inside, I was really devastated because of the loss. Remember, I'm a very active boy with with a dream of becoming a professional basketball player or a engineer. Then suddenly everything was lost. And I lost also my appetite to to live because of the amputation. Though you are physically strong, but mentally you have to be strong also. Because
Yeah.
most of the time the mental part will really put you down. No, it will really stop you from doing what you want or from moving on if you're not strong mentally.
I can't imagine what that's like to go through that. And we can try to imagine, but of course, I can't really fully. So you're now faced with this completely new path in life.
Mhm.
And tell us a little bit about what that was like for you after like recovery and kind of just like acceptance of this new path and what it meant for you.
Mhm. Really, it's a process. Before you accept the things, sometimes you have to recognize that you have a problem. After recognition, the acceptance. These are easy words to say, but it's hard when you're in that situation, when you're in my shoe. It's a process and it will take some people take a little longer. For me, I'm very thankful with the family support that I have and also my friends. They visit me. And those are very important because you need someone to talk to you.
Mhm.
And of course, after acceptance, you have to do your part, the action, because nobody will help you unless you help yourself. So I started using crutches. I started going out because during that time, coming out of my room, it's already a struggle because what I'm thinking is everybody's watching
Looking at
me.
you. Yeah.
Yep, looking at me and the self pity again coming back.
Yeah.
I was, and of course, when you're from the province, the mentality is when you are disabled or when you are a person with disability, you are useless already. You cannot work. The stigma
Yeah.
is there that once you are a disabled, you're just there.
Right. You
Uh,
just do very
yep,
little
yep,
and
yep.
yeah,
And you'll be a
nothing to do.
burden. You'll be a burden to the family. Another thing that helped me is the church because we grew up as a Bible Baptist and the support of the church member, the pastor was very important also. The prayers and everything. What also helped me is my former being an athlete.
Mhm.
It's a big percentage. My brother is a gym instructor and he works in Middle East. Every time he sends me photos, I was really envy of his body. So secretly, I decided to enroll in a gym, and I did not tell him. One of the instructor was really impressed because I almost go to the gym 7 times a week
Wow.
because I was paying for it monthly, so I don't want to miss the schedule.
That's what it is.
And he said, I will train you as a power lifter. At first, I did not believe him because I'm a disabled, and how will you train me for a powerlifting? What he did was he designed a program that will suit my disability. And the rest is history. Sometimes you only need one person to believe in your ability, and that person will lift you up, will encourage you, will challenge you to do the things that you think it's impossible. But because of him, I'd like to mention his name. It's Coach Monte Mendigoria. He's a power lifter athlete also. But then he saw something in me that he challenged me to try powerlifting, and I was able to compete. At first, I was competing with the able body, and then they have this lifting, and I became a national champion. And in 1995, I represent the country in the 1996 Best Press Qualifier in Atlanta, Georgia.
Amazing.
So that was the start of my para sports career.
So let's go back just for a minute, if we can. So you were 14 when the injury happened, or when the amputation happened?
14 when the injury happened, and then I was 15 when the right leg was amputated.
Okay, and then so you're experiencing this challenge going out because you felt awkward, you felt like people would be looking at you, so you stayed in the house for a while. How long did it take you from then before you decided to join the gym? And
It took me, I think, 4 to 5 months before I decided I have to do something. I have to do something. Otherwise, I'll be stuck here, wasting time. And people also telling me that you still have 2 hands, you still have one leg. And
yeah,
my family also is encouraging me to do some stuff inside the home, like washing the dishes,
yeah,
cooking rice. Those are very important. Going back to the basic. Though you are in a crutches, you can still function as a
right,
productive person inside the home. And that was very important. The family support is very important. They don't treat you as a special,
mhm,
but you are still part of the family. You can
yeah,
still do this. They'll give you some household chores to do, and it builds your confidence.
yeah. And then so you met this gym instructor, and he had this belief that you could become a power lifter. Now, how long was that journey before you started getting opportunities to compete?
I think 3 months, 3 months of training,
Wow.
because we are targeting the schedule. He wants me to enter the latest competition. I still remember it in Manila, in Cubao, in Alimol. So I was very nervous. I was very scared because I was the only disabled competing in that bench press competition.
Really?
And I won bronze medal in that competition,
After
competing with
3
a.
months training?
Yes, even me, I was not expecting something. It helps me also to again to build my confidence.
Yeah.
I want more, and I think I doubled everything, the effort, the training, and my instructor was really happy for me because um, is once I want it, I'll be committing my time to this thing. So I was very attentive to what he's saying, what the program is. I'm not complaining
Mm,
because I know it's for me. So when I came back from the competition from abroad, that was a good experience for me, though I did not qualify for the Paralympics. But the experience that I gained was really important.
mm,
And then after powerlifting, I shifted to swimming.
really?
Yeah, because I remember I was swimming before when I was still complete, when I was a boy in the province, but it's not a proper swimming because it's a river. So when my good friend Arnold, also is the name, my classmate during high school in La Salle Green Hills Night High School, invited me to swim, I was very curious. Can I still swim with one leg? So again, another person was used by our creator as an instrument to get involved in swimming. Then I tried swimming. Yes, I can swim. I can still go under the water, but proper swimming is not it. So when I transferred to Cebu, I met an instructor in Abiliana and told me, hey, you're always here every day in the swimming pool, but your stroke's not correct. So I want to invite you to our swimming club. It's for free. I will train you. So that
Amazing.
was the late Coach Tito Bonilla. And he really tried, he really gave his best to train me as a swimmer. And lo and behold, I became a champion swimmer.
Wow.
Yep.
That's really
Maybe
cool.
it took me a year to learn all the strokes, to learn how to use my one leg, even the amputated leg, the stump.
Mhm.
It was used because to
Okay.
balance your body. And I think the lesson there is do not focus on the things that are lost.
What you don't
Fo-
have.
Yep. Focus on
Focus
your
on.
focus on your strength.
Awesome.
Again, no, you still have two legs. Yeah, you still have two hands. You can still see, you can still hear. So use all those things that will help you propel. Do not dwell on the things that are lost or gone already. Otherwise, you cannot move on from your situation
Yeah.
when you keep dwelling on those things.
Yeah. Totally agree. It just, that principle applies across life so much. And I was just having a conversation this morning with my partner about how I have a tendency to sometimes say what I want to avoid, but really what I want to try to positively articulate everything is like really focus on what you want. Tell people instead of telling people what's wrong with something or what they're not doing, just tell them what you want. Tell them the thing you want to create or the outcome that you want and focus on what we have and what we can create. And it's there's so much magic in that when we do that. It's amazing.
Correct.
So then you've taken up powerlifting and you did well, and then you became a champion swimmer.
Mhm.
Unexpected. So then what happens in your journey?
Swimming was a big part of my life. I won my first gold medal in swimming in international competition, the first ASEAN Para Games in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So that was very memorable to me because I competed in two sports. I represented in powerlifting. I won bronze medal in powerlifting, and then I won in swimming, gold in 50-meter freestyle, and bronze on the other strokes. And that was very meaningful and unforgettable experience for me, the swimming part. And I was a member of Philippine Para Swimming for 8 years.
Nice.
Yep. And the journey is very important because you represent the country, you are paid to do this. We are housed in Manila for 4 months before we leave. So you only do swimming, sleep, swimming, swimming, sleep.
That's
Twice a
really cool.
day, we train swimming. And I can still remember also, I did a project here in Cebu wherein I crossed the channel from Santa Rosa Island, Ulango, going to Cebu Beach Club. That was in 2001, wherein I am the first amputee who crossed the channel to raise funds for two amputees. And we were able to successfully cross the channel. It took me 1 hour and 26 minutes to cross the four
That's from
kilometer channel. We
from
started
Orlando to Mactan.
from Cebu Beach Club in Lapu-Lapu.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So to Olango, you start from.
No,
Oh,
we started from Ulango.
so you skip Mactan, you go all the way to. Got it. I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you go all the way to the Cebu Island.
Yep.
Wow, nice.
And that was sometimes you just have to do the extra mile. Yes, it's very scary, and I was afraid because it's an open water. But if you have the heart to help and you believe in yourself that you can do it, it will happen.
Nice.
Mhm.
And then I think so. I've heard some other parts of your story, but what happened? So you're 8 years, you're swimming
Mhm.
in Paralympics, and then what? What happened after that?
Actually, Ellie, my dream is to become a Paralympian. I just came short. One more step and I'll be a Paralympian because I did not qualify in the Vietnam qualifier. But I think God has another plan for me. I had a qualifier 2003 in Vietnam.
International
Fortunately,
Paralympics.
yes, if you get the qualifying time, you'll be able to swim in the Paralympics,
Okay,
which is the dream of every para athlete is to compete in the Paralympics. I just came a millisecond short. It's not meant for me. But the thing is, I've learned so much being a part of the para athlete team for 8 years. The discipline, the dedication, the commitment. That's very important when you're an athlete It's either you're a normal athlete or a persons with disability athlete. You gain a lot. You gain so much from being there. And you can be, after that, you can be a coach, you can be a mentor to somebody because of your experience. And I'm very grateful to the coaches, to the Philippine Sports Commission who help us experience traveling abroad. Who would thought that after the amputation, I would reach different countries. But because of sports, I was able to travel abroad and to gain a lot of experience from doing it.
It's really an amazing story. And it's so cool that you didn't give up on life. You didn't give up on making yourself better and just doing all that hard work, getting those experiences. It's super cool. And so when you said you went to Vietnam and you just missed by a millisecond,
Mm.
what were you feeling then about
I
not
was
making it?
a little bit frustrated because sometimes when you always win, it goes to your head.
Ah,
Yeah, you think that you're already good. Seeing the competition with Chinese, with the Japanese, it will humble you because they are much better than you. And for me, I was really frustrated and I want to stop. You told a while ago that quitting. I almost quit. I almost quit. Before I got my first gold medal, I almost quit because I've been competing for so long and not getting anything. But my coach was there still believing in me and still trained me for correcting my mistakes, trying to improve my strokes. And when I finally won my gold medal, it's really worth all the the early morning training. Our call time was 5 a.m. You're already in the water. You can just imagine how cold it is. Then you're coming back 5 in the afternoon up to 7 to swim. Your body is really sore. And yeah, going back to the not to qualify twice in powerlifting and in swimming. But as you grow, as you'll get matured and you'll understand things that maybe it's not for me. And God has another plan for my life. And it's true. Although I'm into sports, I'm happy that I'm into sports because I was able to inspire people because of my affiliation into sports. And it helped me, especially talking to people. It's not easy to talk to people in front of people as a inspirational speaker. I
yeah.
think
So how,
yeah, it's a good story also because I remember I have a artificial leg and one of my friend here in Cebu from Balais College, Miss Tiny Ruedas invited me to demonstrate my leg in the students for the physical therapy students. She said, just go there, remove your leg, and then put your leg again. That's it. You will not talk. So because
demonstrating the prosthetic?
yep, I'm just gonna remove my prosthetic, then put in again so that the student will see it. And remember, when you remove or when you put in your prosthesis, you're almost just with your boxers or with your brief. So it's very embarrassing in front of 60 people, 60 students. But I'm doing it every week. So it also helped me develop how to do deal with the crowd.
Being in
So
front of a lot of people. Yeah.
yep, from there I started to talk, introduce myself. I was teaching already about the prosthetics. And that was it. That experience of demonstrating and teaching about prosthetics in Beles College helped me in my other fashion, which is telling my story or being an inspirational speaker. Again, it's a process. Sometimes you talk to different crowd and you embarrass, but as you keep on doing that, people are inviting you, you'll get used to it and you're getting good in telling your story. And for me, I don't have to create any other stories because my story itself, that is the presentation itself. Because remember when you do the inspirational talk, you have to prepare for the slides and everything. For me, yes, I prepare for the slides, but whatever the theme for the event, I just incorporate my story because I know in my story they'll get some lessons that I can share to them that will help them also or encourage them in their journey.
What are some of the main lessons that you like to use to inspire people?
Yeah, I always share about the grit and the commitment and of course not giving up. That was very important, not giving up. And my motto always is the moment you stop making excuses, anything is possible.
Nice.
Because most of the time, excuses are the things that will hinder us in doing what we love. We have a lot of excuses, the weather, the traffic, and everything. But if we eliminate those excuses, I think we can do a lot of things.
Can you remember a time when you were using excuses, maybe it slowed you down or blocked you?
Yes, a lot of times, especially during the first part of my journey after the amputation. People will invite me, let's go to the cinema, let's go to the mall. I don't want to go because I was very shy. I was very ashamed of my situation. But you know what? I found out that it's all in the mind. It's
Yeah.
only me is thinking
Right.
about it. But the people are just curious about your situation.
Right.
But if you show yourself more often, they'll get used to it and that's it. Sometimes the problem is in you, not in them.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how we project? We have these fears of what other people are going to think of us, but we're just projecting it.
Correct.
They're not even thinking about us.
Correct. Correct.
Their lives are full of thinking about their own lives. And also all the other people are spending a lot of time worrying about what other people are going to think about them. It's like,
Correct.
nobody's thinking about us, not that much, just for a few seconds. And that's
Mhm,
it. But we project these
mhm,
opinions that make us so afraid. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. So no excuses. Tell me, you also got a really good opportunity at one point to be a brand ambassador. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was a good story because I think I consider it as the highlight of my career. Because all throughout the journey, I was became a champion and everything. I think I was being groomed or being prepared to something big. And out of nowhere, somebody texted me that if I want to be a brand ambassador of a big pharmaceutical company in the country. I thought it was a text hoax because during that time, 2016, 17, text hoax was very
Starting up. Yeah.
rampant. And so I did not reply to the text. Then she texted again and then she called and said, "Sir, I am the one who texted you. And if somebody called you, please don't entertain them because I was the person who texted you." So it was a manager, a talent manager. So I said to myself, maybe it's true because she called already. Because she said, the director wants to meet you about this project, upcoming project. And during that time, I was into Dragon Boat already. And we have a competition in Boracay. And it's very important because it's a international competition. So I told the agent, I'll be in Boracay and then I'll come back to Cebu. She said, no, you from Boracay, we will replace your ticket. We will reschedule your ticket Boracay to Manila. We want you to be in Manila. So bring your extra clothes.
They were serious.
Yes, so they were serious. So I was in Boracay. Good thing we became champion in Dragon Boat in Boracay. And I did not finish the competition because I have to leave. I have to go to Manila to meet the director. And there I met the director in one of the big mall in Manila. And he showed me the storyline. And I thought I was still dreaming because it's just happening. And he said, "You're not going back to Cebu. We're gonna do this, and I want to bring you to the location. I want to see if you can climb the mountain." So the pharmaceutical company is already looking for a talent that will replace Senator Manny Pacquiao because Senator Manny Pacquiao is the former brand ambassador of this pharmaceutical company.
Wow.
So I think four of us are candidate to replace Manny Pacquiao, and I was the only one with a disability. And they researched on each of us, and I think they found that I was a national para athlete. I did some the swimming, crossing the channel,
Yeah.
climbing Mount Apo, and winning the gold medal in swimming and in powerlifting was taken into a account that lead me to be the winner in the selection process.
Wow.
And also they're looking for the character of Filipino, which is resilient, fighting against adversity, challenges. I think they saw that in my story, in my journey. So there I was the one. And we went to Bataan, the location. We did the pre-climb and the director was really impressed because when we did the climb in the mountain, I was going fast and I have a assistant, but it was very funny because the assistant was there at my back and I was all the way there in the top. And he
Faster.
said, yep. And he said, all right, we're going to do this. So the first scene was 5 a.m. We climbed the mountain. And I think we stayed there for about 2 hours, 3 hours in the mountain. And then going down, we did the swimming part, the same location in the beach.
Okay.
And the swimming was the hardest part because when you are shooting, they will not be contented with one take. It took me 20 takes. And swimming is really very hard in the sea.
Yeah.
And you keep coming back, swinging back
Okay.
and forth. And the director will tell you, okay, one last shot. And then you don't believe when they say that one more take. It will take maybe 10 or 15 takes more. And then after that, the last part was they make a makeshift gym in one of the, what you call this, a big house. They turn it
Mhm.
into a gymnasium.
Okay.
So that was it. And we ended up, I think, 2 a.m. the following day. And to wrap up the shooting. And at 6 a.m., I have my flight going back to Cebu.
What?
So right after the shooting, I was flying out from Bataan to the airport. And I think after a month, it was shown in the television. And that was a life-changing experience for me.
What year was that?
2017.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a
that
very,
was, yep.
very special.
Yeah, very special. And it was shown nationwide for 1 year.
Amazing.
And you can just imagine how people will recall you when they saw you in the streets, in the
Yeah.
pier, in the
Yeah.
airport. They're calling me by the name of the brand, not my name. So after that, it was very successful, and the most of the parents of disabled are messaging me and really thanking me because I think that was the first ever commercial in the country that they use a persons with disability
Mm,
to be the
like that.
model or the brand ambassador. So it was very inspiring, and the parents are texting me or telling me that you gave us inspiration, you gave us hope because I have a children with disability. But what you did there gave us something to look forward with our children.
Wow, that's
So
great.
that was very touching for me. And it was like just a tap on the shoulder. It keeps you going. And I'm very happy, not only because of the commercial, but also they paid me handsomely. And
That helps.
the exposure was very important because every time I was invited to give a talk, it gives weight on my name that he is a brand ambassador. That's very important.
That's huge.
Mhm. And then in 2018, I made another one for them again, but this time it's about Dragon Boat. So this time, me and my teammates was part of the commercial
Wow.
in Manila Bay. So again, it's another blessing. So sometimes there are times that you cannot maybe remember I did not qualify for Paralympics, but there's another thing that God is preparing for me. And I think that's the route that He's preparing for me. There were most of the time, sometimes if there are things that we want and then we did not get it or it did not come on our way,
Yeah.
we felt discouraged or but
Disappointed.
yeah, disappointed. But maybe there's another plan. Maybe there's another plan for you. Maybe
Yeah.
that thing is not gonna be work out to you, but always hope for the best and also keep doing what you're doing, the things that you want, keep doing it. And who knows? Maybe there's a better or more
Yeah.
better plan for you.
Yeah. We have this tendency, right, to get attached to what we think the future is going to look like. We think, oh, this is going to happen. And then we get really attached to it.
Mhm.
But where did we get those ideas? And it's so much better if we just let what comes at us be the
Correct.
gift, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I love your story. It's amazing to, hear all the different achievements that not just achievements, but the things that have come to you because of the grit and the hard work and not giving up. And it's a great example of, yeah, using your strengths, using what you actually still have and keep
Mhm.
using it. What are you working on now? The other thing I want to point out is that you just have this energy of purpose. It feels like you have purpose in your life and
Mhm.
you it's clear that you feel like you've inspired other people and that's something that you get to do. I can tell that you feel like that's rewarding. I'm assuming. What are you working on now? What are you looking forward to?
Ellie, I'm very thankful that despite of my disability, I was healthy. That was very important. The strength, the because some of the disabled, because of maybe the what you call this, the lifestyle or the background, I was thankful that I was engaged into sports and really helped me a lot. I can still do a lot of things. And one of the the meaningful things that I did was climbing Mount Apo. And I was hailed as the first amputee to do it in 2013. And this year, in celebration of my 10th year anniversary, I did a climb for a cause. A climb for everlasting hope is a ministry who caters to children with cancer. They provide shelter, medicine, food, and transportation for those patients coming outside Cebu
Mm.
from like Dumaguete, Siquijor, Bohol.
Okay.
Going to Cebu, you have to rent
Yeah, it's
room
expensive, right?
while
Yeah.
doing the medication. So now they provided free shelter as long as you are a cancer patient. Not only the patient, but they
Their
accommodate
family.
the whole family.
Mm.
Yeah, so that the children will not be lonely there. So to be more meaningful, I found everlasting hope and I talked to them if they will agree that they will be the beneficiary of my climb. And I promised them to raise 100,000. I'm very happy that we reached the amount that we promised to give the everlasting hope.
Amazing.
And this coming Saturday, we will turn over the amount. And I think 3 weeks ago, I had a talk. I was invited by Pru Life to give an inspirational talk to rally the agents. And I mentioned to them, I shared to them the story, I showed to them the video that I climbed Mount Apo for this cause. And after my talk, the district head said, we should help Captain A with his program. So right there and then, he asked all the managers, how much do you want to pledge? And at the end of the day, they were able to raise 200,000.
Amazing. Wow.
So on
Congratulations.
Saturday, they will give that 200,000 to Everlasting Hope.
Wow.
And I was very happy because the one who invited me, Ma'am May Joanne, told me that, Arnold, I'm thankful that we are being used to be an instrument to help these kids. Because if she did not invited me, it will not happen. So it was really a work of man from above.
Amazing.
Yep.
Arnold, thank you so much for sharing your story so far. And it's just very inspiring. Thank you for being here on the show. As we wrap up, I just have a couple of questions. And
Mhm.
this would be if you're speaking to somebody, let's say somebody listening out there wants to take more ownership of their own growth. Maybe they want to take some of your advice and work a little harder on themselves or work a little harder to leverage their strengths. What's one thing that's been a resource that's been helpful for you? Could be a book, could be a YouTube channel, could be a particular person that you've learned from. What's something you could recommend for other people that they could learn from as a resource?
Yes, since I'm into inspiring people, I'm giving talk. I mostly watch Les Brown. I don't know if
Me too.
Les Brown. I
Yeah.
really love his story. And David Goggins, the
Yes.
Navy SEAL,
Definitely.
and some of the inspiring movies. I always do that. Or I read books or I watch movies who really inspires me. And not only that, but also looking for some, especially now with what you call this social media, you can see a lot of very inspiring clips. And sometimes when you feel down or when you feel discouraged by just watching those clips, for me, like America's Got Talent, when seeing those golden buzzer moments, I cried or it gives me inspiration. It lightens up my day. When there are times that you're
Yeah.
not feeling good, but when you saw those moments, it lift you up.
Got to go find that thing
Uh,
that lifts you, right?
Correct. I also listen to pastors. YouTube channel was very helpful. And you learn from a lot of people. Is you have to unlearn to learn.
Learn.
Times you have to empty the
Yeah.
glass.
You have to reprogram or
Correct.
unwire what's already there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because life is a continuous learning. You can learn from anyone. Just what's important is listening. For me, what I learned in my training program abroad is the importance of listening. Because when you listen with intention of listening,
Uh-huh.
you can understand and you can answer back correctly. And number two is clarity. Speak with clarity so that people will understand your point.
How have you've obviously worked quite a bit on becoming a very clear communicator, and now that you're a public speaker and having this conversation, you're very good at telling your story. How did you get good?
I think, Ellie, what's important is practice. Keep doing it, even though you don't have a schedule for speaking engagement. Just keep doing it maybe once a week because there are new ideas that you can incorporate in your preparation, in your presentation, and you can always get the idea from the other speakers as long as you deliver it. It can still be relevant to your audience. And don't be satisfied with your talk right now. It's already history. So tomorrow is another audience. It's important also to know your audience, to visit the venue, maybe an hour before the talk, so you can test the microphones and everything. So it boils down to practice and preparation.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. Last question. What's something you're still trying to learn or get better about? What's something maybe you're struggling, an area that you want to improve about yourself?
Yeah, I think because I was undergraduate, no, I did not finish college, but I make it a point to read, listen, watch, self-study
Putting
because
ideas in.
yeah, because what I lack, I have to compensate it because sometimes it's not an excuse that you did not finish your studies. Those things are available now because of social media.
Totally agree.
Yeah, we have libraries, you can find it, you can Google everything. It's just a matter of coming from you, your decision to study, to learn more, to be open to any new ideas. That's the thing. You have to be flexible to every situation.
That's actually what this entire Emerge PH organization, like our everything we're building, is based off of that idea. That Emerge actually is based off of that entire, the whole thing is based off that idea, which is, that we can teach ourselves anything, and that even if you didn't get the best education, it doesn't matter. Even if you did go to
Mhm.
school, like, everything changes. We got to keep teaching ourselves, and we can. We're so lucky that we live in this period of time where we have access to everything, and we need stories like yours to remind us that no matter what situation we're in, that we actually can craft ourselves into, we have so much potential. And if we take ownership of that, I just thank you for your story of not only the work you've done on the physical side of things, but also putting ideas in and teaching yourself. Like, my favorite thing you said in this whole conversation is right there at the end, how you've
Mhm.
built this habit of taking ownership of your own learning and building a habit of putting ideas in. So thank you for sharing. And
Yep.
thank you for inspiring people.
Thank you also, Ellie, for the opportunity. I just like also to take this opportunity to plug our upcoming race in Thailand.
Yeah.
It's a world championship. We are the defending Para Dragon champions. And we came from Cebu. We're proud that we represent the country this coming August 7 to 13 in Rajong, Thailand. We are competing against the United States, India, and Canada.
Wow.
So, and I think maybe UK will be there also.
Exciting.
Please pray for us. We are in the last part of our preparation right now. We train twice a day during weekends, and then we train every day in Mandaue. I know you're familiar with Mandaue.
Yeah. I've been out there with
Um,
you.
yeah, under the bridge. Yeah. So yeah, please pray for us, and also it will be shown Facebook Live, so you can see our races.
Awesome. That's super
Yeah,
exciting, and best of
yeah.
luck. We'll be cheering. We'll be
Yep.
cheering for you.
Thank you again, Ellie, and God bless to your program.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this interview on Emerge Stories. We really hope that something here sparked your curiosity, or maybe helped you think about something in your life just from a little bit of a different angle or perspective. Maybe opened up your mind to something you might be able to do in your life to take more ownership of your own learning and growth. That's the goal of this show. So please join our community, like and share, and tell other people about these stories if they're meaningful for you. And thanks so much for being here.